Good morning, Dan and Amy. You know, Jim Comey was before Congressional Committee yesterday, will be again today, and he was talking about those immunity deals that Department of Justice was handing out. And this has been noticed by a couple of people, including the Wall Street Journal editorial board, with respect to President Obama's role in all this. Remember, we had Andy McCarthy from National Review on, and he said, this was all about protecting President Obama, Hillary Clinton by extension. But President Obama said he found out about Hillary's private email server from news reports, yet we know from the FBI document dump on Friday that he had a pseudonym that he used to communicate by email with Hillary Clinton.
Well, isn't that convenient?
So that's
you kind of twist the facts for your own narrative.
That appears to be a lie. Well, we'll have to have Obama documentaries. We've had one actually. We've had a couple. One good one, Obama's America, #1 documentary of 2012. Executive producer of 2016, Obama's America, which was the #1 documentary of 2012, #2 political documentary of all time. And it probably, as we're finding out more about Hillary Clinton, we may need another Obama documentary. But the leading producer and executive producer of Obama's America is Doug Sain. And he is out with one of the Clinton documentaries that are being featured as we wind towards November 8th. His documentary is called Clinton Inc., and it's...
I saw a preview yesterday.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Well,
I mean, they interview certain insiders, and they have old footage. It's really fascinating.
And it is answers key questions as it teases. How does the Clinton marriage work? Are Bill, Hillary, and Chelsea Clinton guided by love, ambition, charity, or greed?
Or D, all of the above.
Love?
Well,
charity?
Maybe.
I'd strip those out. But please don't tell me how it ends.
Yeah.
Doug Sain, executive producer of Clinton Inc., joins us now. Doug, thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you, Dan and Amy.
So this is based on the New York Times bestseller. And give me a sense of kind of the participants that you assemble, the interview subjects you assemble to tell the story that you tell in this documentary.
Yes, thank you, Dan. We got respected experts from the left, the right, and the center that we interviewed in the movie. We had some very notable experts who I would say are from the center, such as William Chafe, who's a preeminent historian from Duke University, Dr. John Gardner, who's a psychologist from Johns Hopkins University. And then we also had the former assistant director of the FBI, Stephen Pomeranz. And then from the left, we had Rick MacArthur, who is the publisher of Harper's Magazine, and Doug Henwood, who is a contributing editor to The Nation. And then on the right, we had a close confidant, sometimes not necessarily in the past. He was on the right. That was Dick Morris. He was clearly involved with the Clintons and helping them get elected and reelected as governor of Arkansas and as president of the United States. But he's come out quite solidly recognizing the changes that the Clintons have gone through since the time that he worked with them. But then also like Rich Lowry from editor of National Review magazine, and quite a number of other individuals are in the movie. We have some 20 different people that are interviewed throughout the movie, really going through not just the history, but really the what is that dynamic? Who are Bill and Hillary? And then for that matter, too, enlightening us, on what's Chelsea's role? How does she fit into it all? So I think we really capture the essence of who they are and what's been driving and motivating them for over 40 years now.
All right, so tell us about their unique marriage. What did you learn from making this film and by interviewing all those people?
It was really fascinating. I mean, I've been involved in politics for some 30 years now, and as much as I thought I knew everything about the Clintons, I learned so much more in doing this movie, and I think your audiences will too. I'm sure they're all very highly enlightened, but this will shed really new ground for them in terms of the Clintons' background, what types of personalities Bill and Hillary are, and then when they're how they function as a team, because there's been so much kind of suspicion and trying to understand kind of behind closed doors what are they really like. we finally break through and get to understand that.
Wait, I don't understand. I mean, I found out what this was all about when Bill Clinton spoke at the convention. He talked about a couple of love-struck kids that met in a Yale library, and it's been, a decades-long blissful romance. I mean, what more is there to say? I assume that's what you conclude as well.
No, well, there is, it just sweeps under the rug so much of the history of what's really gone on. And it's fascinating. So many people look at like the Monica Lewinsky scandal and say, that was the first time that Hillary, was really publicly, shamed by his infidelities. But it goes way further back, and we reveal just how much she knew and how she, dealt with it, how she, her patterns of behavior in handling these kinds of crisis situations.
So is this more focused on kind of their individual characters as well as the interrelationship within the family, more so than kind of all of the political stuff and policy stuff and Hillary care and all that kind of stuff?
Well, I think what's unique about the film is that you get that insight into their marriage and their personalities and the dynamic for how they together react to these, scandals and issues. But that's just the primer. That just establishes and sets up for once you understand their marriage and how it works, you can then understand the whole range of issues that come on later in their lives when they're at the top of the political game.
So is this really a nonpartisan documentary?
Yes, it really is. And, it's something that we struggle against because, the knee-jerk reaction, of course, is, it's from the right, and it's certainly not partisan. But in reality, we've gone to great lengths. I mean, a majority of the film is with people that are either on the left or from the center who don't have any political stripes. And I think it gives a much more balanced and insightful, expose of who the Clintons are by not trying to be partisan, not getting into conspiracy theories, but really working with what the biographers know about them, and then allowing the pundits to only comment on what the political reactions are.
Do you get into? Did you get into the Clinton Foundation? I mean, where they went from struggling to pay their mortgages, plural, in the late '90s to being 100 millionaire pluses 15 years later?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a big question. How is it that they came out of the White House deep in debt and then are now worth over $140 million? Everyone wants to know that answer. And so we get into what is the Clinton Foundation. And I think more revealing is what is Chelsea's role in the foundation and how is it that she almost brought it all down?
Oh,
and what?
interesting.
Okay.
That's
and what
interesting.
about her health? Do you discuss that at all, or do you show her falling or anything going on?
Yeah, we absolutely get into how their embellishments, I'd like to call them, in terms of their lavish lifestyle that they've been enjoying since leaving the White House.
Oh, I didn't mean wealth. I meant her health. Her health concerns.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Health, wealth. Do you talk about that at all in the film?
No, we don't get into her health. I mean, that issue has kind of been rumbling around out there, and but there wasn't really something to grab onto until we just recently had it. But we really tried to focus on the things that we know rather than maybe say the conspiracies out there. There's plenty there.
I want to know how Chelsea Clinton almost took down the Clinton Foundation. That sounds interesting. All right, he is Doug Sain. He is the best known as the co-founder, leading producer of 2016 Obama's America, the #1 documentary, number 2 of 12, number 2 political documentary of all time. Now he's got Clinton Inc., which premieres September 30th, and you can go to the website ClintonIncTheMovie.com to get a list of all the theaters around the Chicago metropolitan area, including in my neighborhood, the AMC River East. But that's going to be out, and for your viewing here this week, Doug Sain, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck with the film.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.